Hi, I'm Greg,
Hi, I'm Will.
and welcome to our next episode of Theme Parks and Patents, our update series.
Yes, so a couple days ago, we got back from our trip to Orlando, and on that trip, we actually went to Epic Universe. Really fun. So we're just gonna do a couple videos, like, talking about, like, the lands and their, like, rides. And this one, we're gonna talk about the first, like, land we went into, which was Dark Universe with Monsters Unchained. And I'm really excited to talk about this one, because Monsters Unchained was far out my favorite ride.
And how many times did you go on it?
4 or 5.
Only 3.
Well, I went once in the morning, then we took the break, and then I went like 3-ish times, 3 or 2 times, like when we came back.
Oh yeah, maybe you did it once by yourself and once with your mom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, not entirely sure, but there may kind of a spoiler warning, because I know we are going to talk about the land and the rides, so it may kind of be spoilers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do it ride by ride, I think, to make it make sense of stuff we've covered. And so this is just Monsters Unchained, the Frankenstein experiment, which we talked about, and we had 2 patents for it. Mm-hmm. Do you want me to talk about those, or do you want to talk about the ride first?
Let's talk about the patents first, and then we can talk about, like, the lands and rides.
So we had one pretty speculative patent that we covered just because it was interesting, because Disney had one too on the infinite loaders, and we theorized that they could use the infinite loader on this ride to help people who needed more time. They do not have that. I didn't really think they did, but to do an infinite loader, if you want to go back to that video, you'd have to go over it, almost like Grizzly River Rapids, and then drop down in the middle of the circle, so the circle can continue all the way around you. You walk straight out onto the loading disc in Monsters Unchained, and then coming back to the station after the ride, I did notice too, and if I can find a video of it, I will. You can see where the loading platform is coming out of the wall. So it's definitely not an infinite loader by any sense of the means. So that was the first one. The second one was very less speculative, because they actually do show the exact cart in the patent pictures for Monsters Unchained, and that was the idea that they were trying to reduce the amount of wiring on the passenger cart, and so they weren't going to do
navigational catapult navigational unit.
Thanks, Igor. So they were trying to minimize wires, so they wouldn't have lights saying, like on Harry Potter, whether your restraint was correctly positioned. They were going to do it with a visual cue, like a tab that came down, and then the tab would be in relation to the seat, and so if you would have a green section, essentially the tab, that would show you the restraint was in the correct position. They definitely did not use that either. There are definitely lights on the carts indicating if the restraints are proper. So that's patent number 2 down. Mm-hmm. And so I think that leaves us with no patents for Monsters Unchained. Just a lot of IP monsters and pretty cool sets.
Yeah. Okay, now let's get on to the actual ride. With the queue is actually really fun, but I feel like that queue's like built for long lines. It's because it like has all these cool show scenes where there's like stuff that plays out. So like I feel like it's more built for longer lines.
I was fine walking through it, just for the record.
Yeah. But the one scene that I really felt like was built for like a long line was the whole scene where it was like the videotapes of her like finding the monsters, remember?
Yeah, you probably watched that for a bit, but yeah. I don't know how long the loop is on that.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, and there's also like there's this one fun bit in like a hall where you're like walking down a hallway, and then there's this light that flickers. It's like a LED light. I don't know what it's called. but it's like it's one of those lights where when you use like a certain like paint or like something, you can only see it when that light turns on, and it literally says who's the true monster, and like that just really sets the whole tone, making you feel like it's gonna be like more of a scarier ride, but it's actually more like action-ish ride.
Yeah. And the line does get, like, middle of the day, most days it does get up to like 45 minutes, so you can spend some time in that queue for sure. Other than that, the ride has huge capacity, and the line's usually pretty short.
Yeah, about the capacity. Unlike Harry Potter, there's two things different from Harry Potter and, like, the loading station. It's not just, like, a straight line. It's an actual, like, circle, kind of like Grizzly River Rapids or something like that. And they, like, load so many cars, like, so close together. I swear, I don't know how they, like, the video screens and stuff, how they're able to have you watch it without it like interfering with like the person after you.
Yeah, just reset quick.
Yeah.
And you spend all your time on your back. So
yes, that is a big thing on like Harry Potter. Like since they run the cars so closely, since they don't want you to see the other car, they like put you on your back a lot more, so you're like looking up a lot more.
So I do think, I mean, Harry Potter does run pretty close, but they have like you're just in blinders and stuff.
Yeah.
That you don't notice as much, but
yeah,
it's a great ride. Super cool what they've done with it.
Yeah, and another thing that I thought was kind of cool is you can see this in the pre-show, but basically, the difference between the ride vehicle, one of the big differences between the ride vehicles in Harry Potter and Monsters Unchained is that on Monsters Unchained, the whole like arm holding you up is like below you, but on Harry Potter it's behind you. So like imagine if this is the car you're sitting in, Monsters Unchained, imagine this is the arm like flinging you around. Monsters Unchained, it's like this. But on Harry Potter, it's like this. Okay.
I'll put his pictures to Pat and see if that's true. I can't remember from looking at it. Did you see the other carts, or are they at the bottom?
Whenever we rode it, I didn't really see much of other carts, but watching
in the beginning you can see them all.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, but in like videos, I got a much better look.
Okay.
Yeah, they're on the bottom.
Okay.
But onto like the actual ride and stuff. Really fun ride. Like, it's like huge scenery pieces, ginormous animatronics. I cannot express how big that Frankenstein animatronic in the pre-show is. Like, just wow.
Yeah.
And like the whole part, and like since most of the ride like puts you on your back, some of the highlights for me on the parts where it puts you on the back is either the part where like the final Dracula is like leaping out from you, or like that ginormous mummy animatronic.
Mm-hmm. Those are pretty big. Yeah. All the Draculas are pretty big.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anything else on the ride?
Not really, but I just gotta say, what I heard people have before we even went to the park, my dad told me that his people have said that Igor was really fun animal. I guess he does seem kind of funny, but there was one thing he said on the ride. Dad will remember this because it was like we were just talking about it for the entire day. There was one thing he said that just had us cracking up. Like basically, you're on the ride, all the monsters are like escaping and stuff, and then you hear this, it's like Igor is all, hey, you're not gonna like this. They're out! They're all out! Even the really ugly one! And that just made us burst out laughing.
Yeah, good ride. 0 for 2 on patents. But other than that, I was very impressed. So.
Mm-hmm. And then basically the whole Dark Universe, like the town it's in, is called Darkmoor. There's some cool stuff, like Igor can be like walking around, say hi to him. You can sometimes see the Invisible Man. There's like some fun like little effects and stuff.
You can meet Frankenstein and the Bride of Frankenstein.
Oh yeah.
I saw him sitting out one day.
Also, something really cool that happens is like with the front entrance, it's like kind of like a cavey thing, and there's like the whole like electric rod on it. Every once in a while, it'll have like this a big energy pulse, And speaking of the energy pulse, there's also a huge energy pulse on the front of the castle, which I thought was really cool. Like, it's really fun to watch, like, to see when it happens. And, like, yeah, but there is a scene, like, in the queue, where it's like Dracula's bat, like, in a containment unit. And it's like every once in a while there would be like a big energy pulse to stop it from escaping. And I'm not entirely sure, but I believe every time that energy pulse on the inside with the whole Dracula's bat happens, I think that also happens on the outside.
Probably.
Yeah.
They're pretty good about carrying that through. All right. That may be it on this one.
Whoa, hold. Can't forget about the werewolf.
We gotta come back and talk about werewolves. We're gonna say.
Oh yeah, I just thought like each video we talk about like the entire park, but that's okay.
No, you need to talk about per ride. That's why I said in the beginning.
Got it. Okay.
So werewolf has its own patent, if we remember, if we've been watching these, and I think we're gonna discuss that next time because that was actually a lot of fun. But
yeah.
That's nothing big. That's just is it a Mac coaster?
Spinning coaster.
Yeah,
what are you ripping up?
I think by Mac Rides. And so nothing too much new there, just our experiences on it.
Yeah, and I guess kind of like the werewolf, it kind of feels like its own separate land, like in it. It doesn't really feel like Darkmoor anymore.
No, I think it carries over pretty well.
Yeah, we'll talk about that next time.
Okay. All right. Thanks, everyone. We'll sign us off.
Goodbye, and make sure to watch out for all our other videos where we talk more about Epic Universe.